Greetings. My name is Queen Diva, and you're listening to Diva's Diamonds by Queen Diva. It's been a minute. I know. Life has been lifing in a mighty way for me. There has been so many changes with my podcast, production-wise, and I'm still navigating through what exactly that I want to do next with my podcast. Happy New Year! I know we are getting at the end of January. It is January 29th, 2025. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we are already at the end of January and so much has happened? I am an American citizen, and I am, along with many other of my fellow American citizens, are adjusting to the changes that are going on in our government, but also what's going on in our lands. We have fires going on, it's cold fronts going on, it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on. And I just wanted to come on today and just let you know that God is always in control. No matter what we see, no matter what life is lifing along in our lives, always remember, no matter what, that God is always, always in control. I've been busy. I've been really busy since the last time that I believe I recorded anything was in May of 2024. I have moved. I am working on my PhD in education with a specialization in curriculum and teaching. And I am really enjoying it. I am really enjoying it. It is, how many months? It's 8 months, about 8 months now. I started in July of 2024. And I made the dean's list. Yay! And I'm just rocking and rolling with these courses. This is something that I've wanted to do for many years. And I just really had to wait for the right time. I tried other programs and it wasn't a fit. And I just had to just be still and pray and ask the Lord, what's next for me? I'm still yearning for wisdom. And I was looking at different options for career directions that I wanted to go. And having a PhD is one of the main requirements for a lot of different things that I was researching. And although I have a doctorate in divinity, it is an honorary doctorate based on my years of service in the community. I need a PhD in education as I realize all the things that I've been doing. Because I am a teacher, I'm an educator. I may not be in the classroom, but I've been teaching and educating and mentoring many, many people for over 30 years. And so it just was a natural progression for me to come to the decision of getting a PhD in education. And I chose curriculum and teaching as a specialty because I want to create programs that will really be fitting. There's programs that we have right now, and I'm speaking as far as a musician. I'm a musician. I'm a trained and degreed and, experienced musician. It took many years to get to the point that I'm at. But if there were classes that were really geared toward helping musicians to, especially those that go off to college, to transition from being a student to being a paid professional musician, there aren't any. If you don't get under the tutelage of someone as an apprentice or, have the opportunity to be on a tour or whatever, you're just kind of stuck out there. You're really just kind of stuck out there. There is no program or anything really for that matter for musicians to transition from being a student to being a paid professional working musician. And I got to say it that way because, yeah, sure, as a musician, you can play anywhere for free. You can free yourself But bills got to be paid. Rent has to be paid. Food got to be bought. There really needs to be a better way for musicians to navigate life, navigate through life outside of school. School is a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. I highly believe in school. I am degreed and certified to the wazoo. But at the same time, a lot of people aren't about school. They just want to get right into their craft. They just want to get right into their career. And right now, because I've been researching, right now they don't really have anything very, organized or announced for musicians to get a hold of, to be able to learn, or just, had a door open or guided through to be a paid musician. So that's what I want to do. I want to come up with a curriculum for that, and specifically for Black musicians. I'm a Black woman, and I'm a Black woman musician. And it was really challenging for me when I came out of college and trying to figure out, how do I get into the music industry? How do I get gigs, paying gigs consistently, and being able to provide for me and, down the line, my family? And it was a challenge. And it was such a challenge that I had to step away from doing music altogether, which I wasn't alone. There was so many amazing, and when I say amazing, I mean amazing musicians along the way that I've met that had to give up their career as a musician because they couldn't figure out or get connected to or anything to where they can have music as their livelihood. It just never panned out for them. And then they would pivot to a whole nother career. And it would get to a point where they wouldn't even pick up their horn again or sing a song. And that just always, all these years thinking about it, always broke my heart. It just always broke my heart to know that so many amazing people that I met over the years, from me being a young teenager, because I started college at 17, to now, and I'm in my mid-50s, that had to give up being a musician because they didn't know how to navigate through to become a paid professional. And what's so wild is now more than ever, there's so many ways to get paid to be a musician. You don't necessarily have to play your horn or even sing a song. But because a lot of musicians don't have the access to getting in the right circles on, to network, or don't know the questions to ask. And that's a big thing, is that a lot of people don't have a clue on what questions to ask to get the information they need to be a professionally paid musician. And I'm speaking from a musician standpoint, but this could apply really for anybody, for any career that you want to get into. And you may be really strong in your gifts and talents to be able to do that career, but you don't have the connections, you don't know how to network, you don't really know what words to say. I want to be able to come up with a curriculum that teaches that for students. And I'm thinking in terms of musicians, but really this could apply for any student that is preparing to go out in the world and make a career of themselves. They don't have anything like that. They don't have anything. And it's a shame, because when you come out of college or you come out of high school, you got a whole lot going on in your head anyway. just trying to adjust. But then also have to figure out how to make what you love to do work as a career. That's just too much. It's really too much. And especially when you don't know the questions to ask. When you don't know the questions to ask, it really is challenging. And to this day, I still don't understand, how is it that these teachers and these professors that teach at these schools, they know what these young people are what's ahead of them. And yet they don't counsel them to tell them what they could. I mean, I can understand too, when you're young, You don't want to hear what nobody got to say. A lot of times I know what I'm doing. I know the path I'm going, da 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 da. And, most times than not, you don't. And I can understand how some teachers don't even try or say anything because people will be so full of themselves and what they want to do, whatever. But even with that, there should at least be, say, for example, you're in a music department. It doesn't matter which school. It could be HBCU or PWI, predominantly white institution. There should be a time in the program, especially for graduating seniors, that they have like a seminar or a meeting or whatever for them to ask them, are you prepared to go out in the world and to make a living? And if you are not, what would you like to do? And then as a faculty, just like a rap session, be like a rap session. And as a faculty, we can come up with different things to kind of help you along. Or if they don't want to have a rap session, they can at least have just like they have an orientation for when you first get into the university. They should have, and for high school, whatever, they should also have an orientation for, well, not orientation, an exit meeting. I don't think it's such a thing, but maybe they can make it up. An exit meeting of the soon-to-be alumni, and they can talk to them about preparing for the workforce. I think something like that needs to be incorporated. And so I say all that to say that is what I want to do with the curriculum in teaching PhD. I want to come up with a philosophy and a curriculum and, all of that to help colleges, universities, and high schools, even middle schools, because I think I started as young as middle school figuring out that I knew I wanted to be a musician. And I clearly remember in 7th grade, I learned how to play the clarinet. And I was already singing in a choir. And I wasn't sure which direction I wanted to go, but I just felt the more musical I could be, the better I could grow as a musician. There wasn't very many people like me that was in the band and in the choir. But I just had a mindset that I could learn more about musician and being a musician and musicianship if I was both an instrumentalist and a vocalist. And I have to say, it definitely helped me tremendously. It helped me to concentrate more on the notes as a musician, as far as an instrumentalist, and my ear, because I had to hear things before I sang it, but I really had to hear things before I played it, and I had to learn how to listen to my other instrumentalists so we can sound like one. Like I played the clarinet, and as a clarinetist, you got to blend in with that whole row of clarinets. But then also you got to blend in with that whole side of woodwind instruments in the, whether you're in a marching band or symphonic. I was in both. I was in a marching band and symphonic band. I didn't do jazz and all those other where you had to do improv because I really wanted to focus on what was written, the written notes. And I learned tremendously. And that was in 7th, 8th grade in junior high. And I knew then that I wanted to be a musician. I just didn't know how, in what direction I was going to go. And I really, in retrospect, I really wished that my teachers then would have had just a talk with us. So do you know what direction you want to go, or have an idea that what you really like right now? And then just give us options. I mean, it was a little different then because we didn't have the internet and all that good stuff back then. But even so, it just would have been nice to spark something in us to be thinking and having in mind the direction that we might want to go. The only thing they would do was just encourage you to consider going to college. And that was really it. They didn't really encourage you to do anything else other than pass their class. And I just really feel it needs to be encouraged. It really needs to be encouraged. So I'm going on and on about this because this is a year, this is 2025. This is a year of grace. A number of 5 is a number of grace, which is unmerited favor. And I want to encourage you all this year to put in mind 5 goals that you like to achieve in 2025. And be focused about those 5 goals. Be intentional about completing these 5 goals and recruiting people to help you. Recruit maybe 1 to 5 people to be your accountability partner, and do something every day for a minimum of 5 minutes, at least a minute, 5 minutes a day. And then keep track of how you're progressing in achieving those 5 goals. So that's what we're going to do all year long. We're going to work toward the 5 goal challenge. And I started a little bit on my social media, and you can always follow me on all things Divas Diamonds by Queen Diva, and Divine Voices Media. I look forward to you sharing with me whatever it is that your goal is. It can be from the smallest goal to the largest goal. But the only thing is I ask is that you work on it every single day. That's Sunday to Saturday. And as little as 5 minutes a day. Now, it'll grow as you get more involved and excited about doing it. But I really want you to be encouraged, no matter how challenging, or no matter, if you feel like you're not being productive, keep going. Every single day, do something. As long as you do something every day, it's going to add on to you, towards achieving the goal. So this is what I really highly encourage you all to pick 5 goals. Now, if 5 is too much, I understand. But pick one. At least one goal that you wanna achieve by the end of 2025. And our check marks is every 5 weeks, and May 5th and October 5th. That's the 5th month of the year and the 10th month of the year. Because this is the season of 5. 5 is the number of grace. And grace is God's unmerited favor. So what an amazing year that this is, that God has in store for us. But we got to do our part in order for God to do his. Never mind what's going on in the world. Never mind what's going on in your city or even in your home. You have a long overdue goal that you have been putting off. Now is the time. This is the year to achieve those goals. And don't talk yourself out of it. That's the one thing I truly want to recommend to you all. Don't talk yourself out of your goals. Don't talk yourself out of your dreams. This is your year to do it. And it can be done. The minute you start thinking that it can't, it can't. So you're going to have to stay focused in your determination to whatever it is that you want to achieve. You got to think about it every single day. Let everyone around you in your inner circle that you trust, because that's the key word, that will be supportive of you in whatever it is your goal, either it's 1 goal or 5, that you'll stay focused on that, and that you won't be deterred when others have something negative to say or they try to block you, whatever. Just keep speaking life to your goal happening, and you receiving, whatever it is you're going to receive to get it done, and visualize yourself doing it, achieving it, making it happen. And then also, this is the last piece to it that I didn't say the other ones, but I'm going to say the other ones. I'm going to add to it. Plan your celebration. Plan your celebration for when you achieve your goal, whether it's 1 goal or 5. Plan your celebration now. And that might help inspire you to achieve the goals. So I hope this helps somebody. I know this helped me, because sometimes you just got to speak out what you need to do.